Why, hello. Welcome to my first Pine Point theory. And yeah, this took forever. I'm kind of pissed at myself. I've been trying to re-record all of this, and it's been a hot mess, a complete and utter mess. However, this is hopefully will be my final recording. If it's not, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I don't know what I was gonna say. Damn it. But yeah, we're gonna just hop right into it. And before I go any further, this does contain spoilers for Pine Point Insomniac. Okay, if you haven't played it, / read through it, I don't know what the fuck it is. But if you haven't watched, or even watched anyone play it, you go do that before coming here so you understand what's going on. Unless you don't care about spoilers, then to each their own, I suppose. But today, I kind of want to discuss something a little simple. Not crazy, but simple. And that's time period. When does Pine Point take place? What year? What decade? What time frame? Well, I think I have a pretty good idea. So we can start off by looking at this TV. During the That Wasn't Melatonin ending, trips absolute balls. And at the end, he sees, or well, I don't know, TV at end, and fire in the middle of a grassy plain. This TV is similar to, say, ones from the 70s to the 90s, albeit however, TVs like it were more or less phased out in the 90s in order for stuff like CRT. And less of the wooden, more boxy kind, and more of that gray plastic. However, I think we have an even better way of narrowing down our time period, and that actually has to do with Pong, the video game. So during the Goodnight ending, Dimitri goes through many things that him and Nil can do before the end of the summer, where at the end of the summer, of course, Dimitri has to leave for uni. One of the things he mentions is getting high and playing Pong in his house. Pong was a video game released in 1972. If you don't know what Pong is, then I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, unless you're like never understood a video game before. But hopefully you know what Pong is. I'm not going to explain it because no. And I believe it's one of the many ports of Pong instead of an actual like Atari console, as the controllers don't really match up to any sort of Atari controller at the time. However, I do feel like I found a console that is pretty close and close to the time period and has Pong on it. And that would be the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. The Genesis was released in 1989 in North America. I believe this takes place in North America. There's another piece of evidence later, and also, these guys are very North American. They speak English. They look American. I mean, for all I know, it could take place in Britain. But probably America. Most definitely America. It's in America. One of the games on the Mega Drive / Genesis was Arcade Classics, a game containing things like Missile Command and Pong, which is on the cover. This was released in North America in July of 1996. And that's why I believe Pine Point has to take place in 97 at the earliest, 98, or even later. You might be confused. What do you mean? You just said 96. Why 97 or 98 or later? What is happening? Well, it couldn't be 96 for one good reason. When Dimitri leaves for uni. Dimitri says that he leaves for uni on the 27th. We can assume the 27th of August, as August is most typically the month when it's associated with it being the last full summer month until it ends in, actually, like, it ends in, like, September, I'm pretty sure. However, August is synonymous with being, the end of summer is. That's when most kids have to go back into school, and it's the last full summer month, mostly. And this game was released in July, and I don't think that they would have lots of time, as Dimitri has stated in the story many times, that there is still lots of summer left, and that they have lots of time. And I don't think about a month is a lot of time in summer. So yeah, and the final big thing that I feel like makes it that pinpoints Pine Point, get it, to the 90s is Midwest emo. I had to look this up. Essentially, Midwest emo is a culture that blew up in the 90s mostly. It's essentially what our characters are. They're basically that. They're Midwestern emos. And the town that they live in, Pine Point, it looks similar to a Midwestern town. I would know because I live in the middle of the Midwest. So it was easy finding that out. But yeah. That's mostly all I have. There could be more evidence to prove it otherwise, or to help prove it more. But for now, I feel like this is good evidence to prove that Pine Point takes place at the earliest 1997, albeit there could be more evidence to push it, further in time, like more closer to present. For all we know, it could take place in the 2000s. However, we don't have enough evidence, or maybe I missed something. And if I did, please let me know in the comments. Or if I got something wrong, please let me know. Maybe I will do another theory eventually. I mean, I think the zine is a really good start if I ever buy it, which I have money for it. I don't know about shipping cost. I don't want to pay like $1 gajillion for shipping. I don't want to do that. But I feel like this would be a good start if we wanted to go somewhere, as there's not a lot of Pine Point things. What we have is this visual novel and a bunch of art scattered about the internet. That's it. I could check Patreon, albeit I'm not paying money to go look at something. Now I think about it, people do that a lot. There's also a whole bunch of other stuff, even without like looking anywhere else, and with what we have now, there's so much stuff. We have, we have radio, we have the hour-long static video, we have Momo and Journey, we have Snailman and Slime Frog, we have whatever the hell happened in the past. We also have the stick. And that guy in that photo. I don't know what's up with these two. It's kind of suspicious. But we still have so much more that could be done. And I'm not really sure where to start. If you have any ideas, let me know. There's also Ramshackle, which I can get. I guess I can do a theory on. But I feel like Pine Point's more interesting, and I feel like we already have a lot with Ramshackle that we can already inference, can make the inference of like a story. Albeit Ramshackle is more episodic and is more. I'm pretty sure the comparison was SpongeBob is what Ramshackle is basically like. Ramshackle's like SpongeBob. It's more episodic. It's not one long story. And yeah, the pieces are there. We can just assemble them for like stuff. But Pine Point's more interesting in my eyes. But if you want to see something ramshackle, then sure, we can go ahead and do that. But anyways, that's all I have to say. And again, if I got something wrong, or if I completely missed something that flew over my head that could completely disprove this entire theory, let me know. As I'm not afraid to be wrong when it comes to this. And if I am, just let me know, please. And once again, this is just like a theory of mine. This is all essentially my opinion, you know. And who knows? You might agree with me, you might disagree, and that's perfectly okay. And Pine Point, I feel like, has a lot of potential when it comes to theories, and I'm excited to see what happens next for its future. But enough of my ramblings. I'll be down fishing at the lake if y'all need me. I've been Shantyman, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Bye bye.